Hey, everybody, welcome to this particular AMP session. Today, we are going to be interviewing Tracey and Nigel Preddy from Think Sold, powered by EXP on the Gold Coast. For those of you that have not joined us before on an AMP session, we do this every fortnight where we pop in and visit somebody that's working with EXP around the country to find out what's working in their world. And so the purpose of this particular series is just to learn from people that are doing things on the ground, listen, take things away, say, yep, I might be able to try that in my business, or I'm already doing that, so tick the box for me. Whatever it is, it's just part of our collaborative spirit here at EXP, where we're trying to share the successes we have to empower each of us in our real estate careers. So, Tracey and Nigel, welcome to AMP.
Thanks again, Rob.
Tell us just a little bit, because there'll be people on this call that missed the session you did 2 weeks ago on EXP offers or market buy. Tell us a little bit about where you are, how long you've been in real estate, and then we'll jump into some of the tools you're using to power your business.
I'll go to the experienced one. Sorry, older. No, actually, no, she's not older, but yeah.
I've been in real estate now for about 8 years. Started at a small company called Lang Realty, went on to LJ Hooker, then Ray White, and now I'm here. And decided to EXP because of the model that you have. Rather than giving half your commission away, it's much nicer keeping hold of it. Nigel joined me a couple of years ago. Decided he needed to.
Yeah, because I was doing sort of business conferences, large gatherings of people, which Mr. COVID did not agree.
Mr. COVID put a dampener to that.
Yeah, put a stop to that. So and my sort of background was sitting on the phone doing sort of corporate deals, package deals, sponsor deals, etc. So I found it a fairly sort of easy transition to picking up the phone, helping people find a solution to their property journey.
That's cool. And you're located in the Gold Coast?
Yes. Yep. Northern end. So yeah, there's obviously those of you that know the Gold Coast. We're not too far away from those nice properties on the water. The beaches are close by. The hinterland's just behind us. And yeah, we work from home. Tracey has one of the bedrooms, so I've got the second living area. And yeah, off we go. So and then it wasn't that we were trying to sort of find easy ways of doing it, because I think with the roots, you've also got to still do those old hard yards of prospecting. You've got to be phoning people. There's not an easy way to do that. But there are ways of streamlining it. And as we went through 2 weeks ago now, market buy was an absolute game changer for us. And I think we filled up the full 45 minutes. But yes, there are other things that, yes, they are tools, but sometimes people forget about the traditional way of doing things. So I think that the one thing that we still do now is we buy into ownership data, cross-reference it with CoreLogic as to who the owners are they investors, what are they looking for, etc. Ownership data is a great way of being able to hit the ground running in an area. We've got a lead gen person, give her a new area, and she will literally clean the data as she goes, but enter it into Agent Box. And then we'll do the desktop appraisals, we'll do the introductions, etc.
Okay, so just talk us a little bit about what kind of a service area are you kind of working? Like, is it 1,000? Is it 5,000? Is it 10,000? What are you doing?
I think probably if you sort of look at, say, Pacific Pines, Oxenford, Maudsley, Helensvale, Hope Island, which are probably our closer areas, all up there's probably 25,000 homes plus.
Yep.
Our database is currently 13,000 and growing all the time.
And do you use a mixture of digital outreach as well as traditional analog outreach? I mean, you said you've got somebody on the phones, but do you do print marketing at all, like DL cards or newspaper advertising, or?
We do DLs around properties that are listed. So we always do a just listed, just sold. We also do an invite. We always put out 100 invites around that property, which comes from the owners, not from us. We deliver them.
We deliver them, but
they're
It's
just
funded by the owners.
yeah.
yeah.
We like do them on coloured paper, roll them up, tie them. Takes a little bit of time to do, but it's worth it because that sort of thing. It's not something that they're going to take out their letterbox and throw away. They actually do read it.
Yeah.
And we get a lot of neighbours through the property that way, which obviously potential sellers, we're on show, this is how we do things. So that's what we want. We know that they're probably not in the market to buy, but they might have some family or friends, you never know.
You don't know.
But we're really trying to get their business. That's the idea of that. But we do run it past the owner first because it is coming from them. So for instance, the property we've just listed in Oxenford, it was from Michael and Michelle. Just letting them know that they've been their neighbour for X amount of years and would love you to come and have a look at our home, all that sort of stuff. And they introduce us as their agents as well. So we
another layer of social proof.
Yeah. So that's kind of the most we do in the way of the DL side of it. But we do once a month we put out our monthly market report. We build that in our Realtair platform. Realtair is really a one-on-one. So, and the SMSs from Realtair are part of the package, so it doesn't cost you anything. However, with our monthly market updates, we kind of cheat the system. So I produce it in Realtair, and then I copy the link and I send it out from Agent Box, which yes, I know does cost me, but it's the only way to do a mass SMS out.
Yep.
And we've been doing this successfully now since I think September last year. So every month these go out. Now, obviously, initially we were getting a lot of unsubscribes. Those unsubscribes have gone down astronomically, basically.
Yeah. Which is fine. The data's self-cleaning.
Yeah, it's self-cleaned. We weed out the people that have moved on from the area, etc. And now we're getting probably one, maybe two out of 1,000 we send out that are unsubscribing, and that could be for any reason.
They
had a bad day. Unsubscribe from everything.
Stop. Don't want you anymore. But we do also get some appraisals from that. We've had it doesn't happen all the time. It's like a DL. It's getting in front of them. Excuse me. And that you just want to get your face in front of these people constantly. And this is our once a month. We're in front of all of those people. To pick up the phone and speak to all of those people would be nigh on impossible in that month. So once a month, we've got our touch point with everybody in those areas. And there is a lot of people that are opening it. I've had people who have requested appraisals from it because we do have a button on there that, request an appraisal. We've got a button, book an appointment, all that sort of stuff.
Which goes straight through to our calendar as well. Which, we see straight away. So that, and probably the beauty on the Realtair side, when we're sending out, even if it's just an introduction, just to say who we are, it goes to their mobile phone as a link. So it's not going to their Hotmail account, which they forget to look at each night. It's on their mobile device, which has, here's who we are, and I'll show you one of them in a minute. This is who we are. These are our contact details. Here's something to talk about. Then you've got obviously your desktop appraisal as well, which again goes to their phone. If they want it emailed, we can copy the link and do it that way, but it's going to their phone. So after a number of months, etc., and they'll keep seeing things, we're in their message bank on their phone as opposed to trying to find an email somewhere else.
Right. And I might just pause here for a second and just say it's really, really wonderful that you have explored your options for tools that you can partner with your business. I know we provide some basic tools at EXP, but one of the things that people often struggle with when they come to EXP is that we are not prescriptive like a franchise. We don't say you can only use this, you can only use that, or whatever. And that stuns some people for a while. It takes them a minute to find their feet.
Yeah.
They can go out and they can find the tools that kind of make sense for their budget, for their experience, for their area and whatnot. And I think it's wonderful that you guys have
Yeah.
explored that, and
Yeah.
Realtair is working well for you.
It's working very well. I mean, yes, we've still got the traditional active pipe as well, which, yes, promotes our properties, but then we're also promoting the rest of Queensland properties as well. As we said, a couple of weeks ago, we don't know everything that our clients are thinking. They might be thinking they're going to move to Cairns, to Bundaberg, wherever it might be. So if they still see another property, an EXP one in Bundaberg, they might tell their children, their friends, etc. It's, at the end of the day, it's promoting the EXP brand, which in some of the regional areas might not be as heavily densely populated with agents. So yeah, it's just moving those along.
The other beauty about Active Pipe, again, it's a touch point. So those emails go out once a week for some things that it's constantly sending emails out. Sometimes it only sends out 5 because it's identifying those people. Other times it sends it out to absolutely everybody again in our database. So it's another touch point. And yes, you do get appraisal requests from that as well. Again, some of those people might have been people who were once looking for a property. They have actually found a property, say 3 or 4 years ago, and now they're looking at selling it. They're back on the market type of thing, or they're looking for an investment property. So it's another way of a touch point. So there's the DLs, there's the monthly market updates, and there's Active Pipe. So we're just trying to find ways of communicating with the database that we know that, with the amount of people in our database, there's no way we can pick up the phone and talk to every single one of those people.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. So talk me a little bit through your workflow. You've got somebody making cold calls into an area.
Yes.
Then what happens?
Usually, either myself or Nigel will, if it's a desktop appraisal, do the desktop. If it's a face-to-face, depending on how serious that face-to-face seems to be, I will usually go and do the face-to-face. If it looks like these people are pretty serious about selling, then the 2 of us will go. So for listing appointments, we usually have both of us there. Sometimes, as we know, a soft appraiser can turn into a listing appointment, which is the reason that I usually go there, because I tend to have most of the information in my head. So, but yeah, we prefer with a listing appointment to have the 2 of us there. So Nigel will do most of the follow-up calls, unless it's people who I have, like if it's an Arundel type property, because that was one of my biggest farm areas and I've been nurturing that for many years. Usually the Arundel ones I will do the callbacks on, but 9 times out of 10, once a desktop appraisal's gone out, give it a couple of days, we know whether or not they've opened it. So obviously the conversation will be different as to whether they've opened it or not. Have you actually received it, or what did you think of it?
Yeah,
2 different things.
Yeah, that's the thing we didn't mention with Realtair as well. When we send it out, as soon as the client opens it, my phone pings, Tracey's phone pings, we both get emails, so we know when that person has opened it. And then sometimes they might be at work, 6 o'clock that evening, they'll open it again, and then they might open it again when the wife gets in. So we're constantly, it's basically just somebody sort of saying, hey, they're looking at it, they're looking at it, they're looking at it. Yep. So
well, they've got it if they're opening it.
Yeah, dead right. As opposed to sending an email, and even if you go to the trouble of sort of putting, I want a red receipt, some people don't click on that. So even if you're asking for it, you don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How long have you been using the system?
Realtair
we
October.
About October last year.
Yep. So 6, 7, 8 months.
Yeah.
And I think with the way it works, it's simple to get the information. It's simple to send it out. But comparing it, say, with a CoreLogic CMA, it looks a lot cleaner, a lot neater. A CoreLogic CMA, no disrespect to them, but it looks like recycled toilet paper. Whereas the Realtair one looks bright, it's popping, it looks like a digital thing from 2024 as opposed to a Commodore 64, which I think a number of people on the screen looking, probably know what the old computers were.
Yeah.
So
those of us that were used to dial tone,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing with a wheelchair is, you know, sometimes they're sort of thinking about selling and they're not quite ready, so therefore they're not quite ready to sign the Form 6. So everything we've discussed in the meeting, I put out on a proposal which is done through wheelchair. Now, I think the proposals that we put out are a lot smarter than a lot of people will put out, because they use, you know, CMAs from RP
Wherever.
or whatever. And we have had a lot of compliments on the professionalism and the difference with our proposals. I can actually bring up one of the latest proposals.
Yeah, show us what you got going on.
Yeah, share. Do you want to share the screen? While Tracey,
Where's your wheelchair?
There.
This one?
Yep. Hang on, I'm going to share the screen first.
Oh, hang on.
Go back to the Zoom on the right.
Zoom. I'm really good at this, as you can see.
One of the things that I love about having you on, Tracey, is that you're a real agent doing the work in a real way. And I love that.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
share.
Share.
You'd think I'd never used a computer before, wouldn't you?
I know. It was only 2 weeks ago you were sharing your screen, so it's good.
I know. What's that doing there?
Go to the top, close that one. Yeah. It's mouse is horrible.
There. It is horrible.
There we go. And the apps.
Oh, go away.
One of the things, so we can see your Realtair screen now, Tracey, just to confirm.
Yep. Okay. So basically what you do,
because that's what we did yesterday.
Oh, yeah, but that hasn't got anything in it.
No.
Basically you start with a campaign. So if you haven't got a property in there, you create a campaign. So then everything that you do for that property goes into that campaign. So once you've done a campaign, which is where we are now, for instance, if I go to this one, it's now got one thing in there. Now I could create another pitch to go with that. At the moment, it's just got a desktop appraisal. So if I wanted to do a proposal,
as you can see on that one, Darren actually viewed that 14 hours ago. So we sent that out yesterday, and the gentleman we sent it to has, obviously viewed it as we sent it, which is, it's nice knowing when they open them.
And then if I want to do it, like say we go and do a proper appraisal for them, I can either do, I've got various different things here that I can do, whether it be the results for the appraisal or or I could put through the proposal. Now the proposal is what we use, as I say, after we've had like a listing appointment, but they're not 100% ready, but we put everything in writing that we have discussed, and we have a template for that. So excuse me, put in 16/61.
For those that are watching this, one of the things that's really important is to strike a good balance upon being too cheap as an agent and not embracing some tools, so not wanting to pay for them, and then also, spending too much on tools that you don't use. I think one of the things that Think Sold has done with Tracey and Nigel is that they have played with and kind of got it down to where they're happy to invest some money because they know of the effectiveness and the way that it helps their business.
Yeah, definitely. And this is what a proposal would look like. So it has the address, it has a thank you for seeing us, basically, who we are, and then we have comparable sales for where they are, and then our processes. So we explain the open for inspection, the connections, buyer relations, offers. Now I've added in here the fact that we use market buy now. The sales method, what our recommended sales method for them is private treaty. Now they could click on any one of these. It's interactive for them. We've chosen private treaty as the main one at the moment. The marketing approach, so it goes through exactly what we've discussed with regard to styling. This is all already in a template, so it's very quick now for me to do up, because I don't need to change any of this part. So I just need to move this so I can see what's there. The extras, Oh, shrink it. That's better there. Extra things that we do in our business as opposed to other people. Then we have the marketing campaign. So it gives them everything in here that we've explained in the marketing. They've got a pay now or pay later option. Additional information. I put additional information in there because this particular one, I wanted to show them exactly what all the sales were in their particular block. It's part of
It's like a
gated community type
Yeah.
of thing. And also the achieving the highest results, that was from so people can click on that. That was from what we did on Market Buy. So I was trying to explain that all to them and how we achieved the highest price and what happened there.
Yep.
So we can add extra bits and pieces in now. I can't see the top, so I can't get back.
And with this, you're providing enough information that people, if they're serious, they can do a deep dive.
Yep.
If they are, I'm like, there's basically 4 different personality types. And you're covering off on a lot of that here, where you've got the visual,
Yep.
and you've got the experience where they're touching it, they're scrolling through, they can click on the different things. So it is really covering off on a lot of positive things here.
Yeah, and also then the pricing, and then it goes down to commission and all of that sort of stuff, selling fees and what's involved in all of that. So this is the proposal that they've gone through. Oh, and there is they can actually accept it as well. So where's the accept it?
Yep. They can click on that.
They can accept that. So that's sort of how our proposal works. And as I say, we've got, obviously we can do appraisals in here. We've got our monthly market updates that we send out, but I copy that and send it off to them. So I should just go back into this and just show you. So on the side here, you get a link. So that's how I copy the link into an email.
Yep.
And SMS. And you just type in, I don't use the information that's here. I always put my own personal information in there.
Yep.
And send it off that way. So that goes straight to their phone. Yeah. You can download it. Yeah, so it gives you various different options right at a click of a button that you can do all sorts of different things with. You can edit your campaign, you can advance edit your campaign. There's all sorts of things you can do. It does take a bit of time to set up the templates initially, but once they're done, it's very easy to use.
Yeah.
And from here,
I was just going to say, if you're doing a volume of appraisals, once a template is set up, you can really just crank them out.
We can probably crank them out in a minute.
Yeah,
literally. I mean, all you sort of need is the person's first name, surname, and mobile phone number, and obviously the address of the property you've got, and then it's really just picking the comparables, which you would do normally, and then saving it, hitting the button, and off it goes into cyberspace.
Yeah. You can also, from here, I can also produce Form 6s.
Yep.
It will draw all of their information into that Form 6, so it's all pre-set up. Also, I can do contracts and stuff like that from here, so I can get people to digitally sign from here. So I don't use DocuSign anymore. I just use this platform. And sell, I can load it all up. I can get offers in on this platform. I can do contracts on this platform. So it's all in the one area, and it all, because I'm under the campaign of this one property, everything stays in that property.
Yeah.
So you can see exactly what's happening.
And as Tracey was sort of saying then as well, yes, okay, we can get offers on this platform, like we did on the Arundel property as well. If an offer comes in on this, as agents, we can manually load that offer into the Market Buy platform as well.
Right.
So it's saved in there as well.
Yeah. Yeah, very interesting.
So I'll just show you. Oh,
you haven't put it in yet, have you?
I have.
Have you? Okay.
Oh, maybe, I don't know. It's not my system, is it?
No, it's in me at the moment, not you.
Oh, okay. I haven't put you on it, obviously. I forgot to put him on to 16 to Uno, otherwise I could show you a live listing.
Yeah. No, that's all right.
She'll get around to it.
Yeah. Maybe she's keeping things from you there, Nigel.
Yeah, I am, obviously.
Yeah. She did a brochure up the other day, and she had 2 of her headshots on it and her mobile phone number twice as well. She forgot to put me on.
Well, these are just the benefits of working with your partner.
Well, yes, true.
It might be, 16.
And for those of you that are here live or watching the recording, if you haven't worked real estate with your partner, you've never lived.
Yeah, if you haven't, don't.
My wife and I worked together for 3 years, and it was a wonderful 7 years.
Yep.
At least it felt like it.
How do we unshare?
Go to the.
So when you're, let me just recap. So you're using Agent Box, obviously, to process your sales and all that kind of stuff. You're and your as your database. You are using Active Pipe for your newsletter kind of communications.
Yes.
You are using Market Buy, or for some EXP offers, for the actual offer process in a lot of cases. And that's a recent thing that you've started. And you're using Realtor for your communication to people that have requested appraisals.
Yes.
Yeah, it's actually classed as a prospecting tool, Realtor. So you go from campaign to prospect to the pitching and to they actually call it a prospecting tool.
Yeah. And they've kind of bolted on the contracts and stuff on the end as a value add.
Yeah.
I mean, other things we're using, obviously, ownership data is, yes, a tech tool, although it does look still old. ID for me is another.
What do you use ID for me primarily for? I know we've done different sessions on it, but just in your business, how are you guys using it?
Just sort of sometimes finding those numbers that you can't, or if we've say like 16 Taruna, I can pull up Taruna Circuit and it lists all of the phone numbers of everybody that's ever lived on Taruna Circuit in Oxenford, and it will list phone numbers, landlines, the majority mobile, and just that comparison. Sometimes there is just those one awkward one where the person lives there and you just cannot find the number anywhere else. Although I was struggling one the other day, he was not even on ID for me. But in the end, I actually found his mobile number on LinkedIn. Funnily enough, and he was actually a contact of mine. I don't know where from, but his mobile number was in there as well. So ID for me is one.
ID for me can also be, because ownership data, I mean, it's probably about 70% accurate. It's not the most accurate program on the ship, but it does also have a lot of, where there is a lot of numbers in there, there's also a lot of numbers that aren't in there. So it's, I do use ID for me sometimes to try and find those other numbers that aren't in ownership data.
Karen just asked the question, why are you using the two different platforms? That really you're hoping that between the two you can find somebody.
Correct.
They don't have the same source of the data. So
true. And I found that probably ID for me, the only place it does struggle is the people sort of say with Asian names, where they might sort of have their family name from say China, but obviously in Australia they might use a nickname like a Johnny or something, whereas it's spelt differently, and so those. Another tool which, especially at the sort of the listing and the home open stage, is Home Pass. It's a great way of bulk communicating to people what is happening at the property, have we got offers in, etc., when the next home open is, what the sale price was,
and checking them in. So with Home Pass you can put all your documents on there, so when everybody checks in, they will automatically from us get the due diligence pack, the brochure goes on there. We also have a hard copy of the brochure. They have the link for the building and pest. They have the link for to make an offer, the Market Buy link. So they have all of that straight to their phone as soon as they walk in the door.
And obviously that will have rates, electricity, water, body corporate disclosure statement if there is one, contract, pool safety certificate if there is obviously a pool there,
rental appraisal, all of that,
and rental appraisal as well. So they've literally got that big wad of documents on their phone, and they're ready to go.
And they can go back and access that whenever they need to or want to. Very good.
A couple of the other things, obviously, business cards we don't use. We actually use the Blink digital business card, which Chris put me onto 6, 7, 8 months ago. So thanks again for that, Chris. It works great. The one other part I think apart from say the social media platforms, which you all do a bit of Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, etc., I've been posting as a private person, not as a Think Soul person, the property link on Facebook Marketplace. And the response has been just because, yes, it goes in the home and furniture section, but I'm sort of getting anywhere sort of from 2,000 to 4,000 clicks on a Facebook Marketplace post. It takes 2 seconds to do. We've all got Facebook probably as individuals as well. Put it up there and just see how many clicks that are on there. The buyer of 18 Woodview came from seeing it on Facebook Marketplace and then seeing the same post on the Facebook Sanctuary Cove community page. So try everything. That one doesn't cost anything apart from 30 seconds of your time.
We have an agent here where we sold a property via Facebook, and it was going back a couple of years ago, but it was a low budget advertising kind of scenario, and so it did go on to it went on to realestate.com and that kind of stuff, but the best buyer came from Facebook. And I was telling them, put your properties on Facebook on Marketplace, and they were like, I don't know how to do that. So we showed them how to do it. And within about 30 minutes, we had someone reach out, and they were the best buyer by about 40 grand.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's that one sort of thing and it's not that we're getting hung up on using technology to do the cheap. We're just trying to find that fine balance between, I think it's just like any sort of listing, with throwing the net as wide as you can, don't rule out domain thinking, oh, it's the southern states. Don't rule out this. Don't take out this bit of the marketing pie. It's the whole marketing package, whether it's a free marketing or a free listing, or just throw that net out there and make sure you're covering 360 degrees of the pie. And use what's there and have a look into things and try something different.
I kind of liken it to, I grew up in an agricultural community, right? And everybody loves their John Deere tractors and all the cool little implements that you can buy to add on to and whatnot. But at the end of the day, farming is still putting a seed in the ground, watering it, and there's different ways of doing it. So, and you guys are just using that technology as a way to connect with people who are thinking about buying and thinking about selling and trying to connect those dots together for a positive result.
Yes. Yep. That's it. That's all we can do.
Very cool. Very, very cool. I want to ask you a question that may seem a little bit rude.
I expect nothing less.
But I always like to ask people direct questions. So you guys, have you been using technology at this kind of scale for a long time in life? Because you're not, you're just similar age to me, where you might have used it a bit, but now you've really dove head first into all of this. And has it been problematic?
As regards to technology, I mean, from my God, I was 23, so like 38 years ago, working at Sun Alliance Insurance on St George's Terrace in Perth. Yes, I was your insurance agent out there. Somebody sort of said, "Oh, look, there's a training course on computers and how to code. You've got to go to Sydney for a week." And I put my hand up and went, "Yeah, I'll go to Sydney for a week." So I've always liked that sort of technology. Always sort of had sort of 3 1/4 inch floppies and 5 1/4s, and always sort of had computers. And
so you've naturally been into technology for a long time.
Sort of wanted to know what it did, and how it would help me do what I did. I had the first ever mobile phone in Perth. About sort of 38, 40 years ago, whatever it was. Just because I knew there was going to be a benefit to having this thing called a mobile phone, and be able to sort of do my job when I was in the car rather than wasting time driving around. But we were on Android phones for a long time. We only swapped to Apple a year or two ago.
Like that,
our daughters were giving us crap for ages. The laptops, but there's technology's there to help you do something, not to replace what you're doing. And
the reason I ask that is sometimes we have people that just seem so overwhelmed by you know, we've mentioned probably 6 different platforms today,
Yeah.
and it might scare somebody off, but you don't find it that way, and I suppose you would just recommend just get one platform, learn that, get the next one, bolt it on.
Yeah.
I think most of those platforms are pretty self-explanatory. I mean, ID for me, you're looking at phone numbers, ownership data. Again, it's got all the information there. Active Pipe kind of does it all for you, and they set it all up for you. Probably the biggest challenge was Realtor.
Yeah.
Because yes, they do have some of their templates, but we have had a very specific way of what we want to do. We challenge the system, and trying to get all those templates done. Yes, that was a challenge initially, and figuring out how to do, because I can figure things out. I can get very frustrated with things because it's not doing what I want it to do. But you get there in the end.
Yeah.
And once it's set up, though, it has made our life so much easier.
Yeah.
So the hair pulling out to the bit right at the beginning there with Realtor, we managed to tweak it to, as you can see, you know, I'm very happy with our proposals now. I'm always tweaking them.
Yeah.
You know, I think probably once a month it's like, oh, I need to add this. I mean, like I've just changed it to market by now. You know, there's always something different to eventually put in, but on the whole, it's done. So it's very, now when I come back from a meeting, it's very quick to say, yeah, I'm going to send you out this proposal, rather than having to do up an email and adding all the bits and pieces to it. It's all there.
Yeah. Wow, that's so good. So good. Any final thoughts?
You're always, I think, don't think this is going to change anything and, you know, let you sleep in for an extra 2 hours every day, or, you know, sort of, you know, anything like that. It's going to help you do what you do. I mean, even sort of with some of the things like, you know, when we try and knock on all the doors or do that magic 50 around a listing that we've got, it streamlines that, I think, a little bit, especially the idea for me is we can literally go down that street and look up phone numbers and knock on their doors, but do it either digitally or a text message, etc. And we can, or a phone call, and we can keep in touch with people en masse. That is also a big benefit, but it's worth a try. Have a look at these different things, and there could well be, hopefully next week or in 2 weeks' time, somebody else will sort of, you know, show something else, and we'll sort of think, oh, hang on a minute, could we use that? You know, market buy. I got back from the conference on the Gold Coast. I like spending money, as the Vegas crew know. If I see something, I'll buy it, and then I'll explain it later. This time I thought, yeah, I'm pushing the boundaries here. So it's, hey, Trace, have a look at this. So we did the Zoom call with them. Yeah. She's then comfortable. Okay, yeah, this might help. Let's give it a try. And, you know, it worked sensationally. Freed up Tracey's time to do other stuff. And also got a better result for the client. And at the end of the day, as long as we're getting better results from the client using the products we do to do what we do, that is, you know, a win-win for everybody, especially the seller.
Absolutely. The question came through before. What are you spending on Realtor? Is it on a monthly or a yearly subscription?
It's a monthly subscription. It's 165 a month, I think it is.
Yeah. A lot of the products sit somewhere in that 150 to 200.
Yeah, something like that. And 165 now, our lead gen person is probably generating anywhere sort of from 15 to 30 plus appraisals every week. By using that platform,
we were able to get them out.
we can get them out a lot quicker than using the traditional. But for 165 a month for that sort of numbers going out, they all look the same. We know what they say. Obviously, it's just the prices are different and the photograph at the front is different.
But also, obviously, I'm not spending on DocuSign because that is also a monthly fee. But I've already got that in there as well. So it's got little benefits to it as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And obviously the SMS built in as well. So, you know, if we're sort of sending out, you know, 20, 30 appraisals a week
Yeah.
via SMS. The SMSs aren't costing. If we did it via Agent Box or some other sort of purchase as you go, then
Yeah.
you've got that cost. So the fact that you've got the SMS built in and
I think as your business grows as an agent, sometimes we can be too, the word would be penny pinching, you know, we're trying to avoid paying costs to go faster in a business, you know, like it's just, yeah. Sometimes we're our own worst enemies by being too cheap and not investing in our own selves and how we can best serve our clients.
Yep, no, definitely.
Tracey and Nigel, thank you so much for joining us on AMP.
Not a
And
problem.
for those of you that are here live, thank you for taking the time to join us. And for those of you watching the replay, we wish you nothing but success and hope you have a fantastic week to come.
Not a problem. Appreciate it. And yeah,
Thank you.
if anybody has any questions separately, as we sort of said 2 weeks ago, we're a phone call away.
Fantastic. Fantastic. We'll catch you next time on the next AMP series, guys. Take care.
All right.